Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and if you can read the top right of this video, you will see that Black Monday has started early. It has been reported that the Jets will fire head coach Todd Bowles after the Week 17 game that the Jets have. He will be fired. He will be done. Per NFL Network, per My Sports Update, I'm sure per Rap Sheet as well. They're always on top of things. So, yeah, Black Monday started a little bit early. We saw mid-season firings with guys like Mike McCarthy and Hugh Jackson, but it appears that Todd Bowles is going to be the first casualty of Black Monday, and I expect Jets fans to be pretty relieved and pretty excited about this one. Going a little bit into Todd Bowles and his overall career with the Jets, he had 4 years of coaching. He joined back in, I believe, 2014, 2015, and right off the bat, Todd Bowles had an amazing year. This team really overachieved. They ended up winning 10 games. They finished 10-6, coming right off of the Rex Ryan era, which was really up and down, so to speak. I know a lot of Jets fans are pretty whenever they have to talk about the Rex Ryan era, but coming right out of the bat, Todd Bowles 10-6, had a great first season. Then after that, he had 3 straight seasons with 5 or less wins. That's not exactly good. I will say the first 2 seasons of him going 5-11, I don't think that he had lost the locker room. The players were still playing really hard. They were still overachieving and whatnot. But this past season, you definitely start to see a lot more cracks forming in the infrastructure that this team had built up these past few years. Guys like Jamal Adams constantly saying week in and week out that he's sick of losing and that it's not going to happen anymore. And Jamal Adams is one of the high-tier leaders and captains of this team. I think he's arguably one of the faces of this franchise. So it makes sense that Todd Bowles would be on the way out, especially with these rumblings that losing the locker room and all the cracks are starting to form and whatnot. And the record speaks for itself. 5 straight seasons with 5 or less losses. There was some reports that he could have been fired last year. Didn't happen. It's happening this year. So, I wish Todd Bowles nothing but the best. I'm sure he will land on his feet somewhere as a defensive coordinator or some type of positional coach. Todd Bowles will probably not be without a job for very long. I'm sure he'll be fine. But for the New York Jets, pretty exciting time. This is going to be the start of yet another era for this very storied franchise, and they definitely have a lot of options. Guess who their main target would have to be? I gotta say Mike McCarthy. Now, me personally, I wouldn't mind Mike McCarthy on the Buccaneers, but I really think that him going to the New York Jets is a very strong possibility of that happening, especially whenever you take into account that both Todd Bowles and both Rex Ryan were defensive-minded coaches. They both had some really nice defenses, but the offenses left something, something there, something more that needed to be there, so to speak. With Rex Ryan, he had Mark Sanchez and all that business. That was awful. I mean, Rex Ryan's defenses were so good, he still managed to take Mark Sanchez to 2 AFC championship games. And with Todd Bowles, you had guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh McCown was in there, and now you have supposedly what is your supposed to be franchise quarterback in Sam Darnold, who I believe in a lot. I'm a big supporter of Sam Darnold. I think he's going to end up being pretty good. But, you need to get a coach that is going to be able to build this offense up. The defense, I think the structure of this defense is already really solid. And if you just have a solid defensive coordinator, I think things could be fine overall. But you need to pick up the slack that the offense has left there. Get a coach that knows how to build around Sam Darnold, a quarterback whisperer, if you will, and start bringing in some more firepower. They just signed Quincy Enunwa to a 4-year, $36 million deal. That's a start. I don't think Quincy Enunwa is a #1 wide receiver, but again, it's a start. You need to start building around Sam Darnold on this offensive side of the ball and really get things going on this offense. And I think Mike McCarthy is pretty much the perfect fit for the Jets because, again, the defense is already there, and Mike McCarthy has worked with some phenomenal quarterbacks in the past. He worked with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That's probably 2 of the greatest quarterbacks you can work with, consecutively in a row. Mike McCarthy went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks right in a row, So McCarthy, his record speaks for itself, 125 wins, 77 losses, a Super Bowl win. It would be a big name hire, exactly what the city of New York needs. you know, that media circus and whatnot. You know, I'm sure McCarthy's used to it. And, you know, these New York teams, they like to make these big name signings, which I think is a fine thing. I don't have a problem with it. And I think McCarthy would totally be the guy to bring in, pair him up with Sam Darnold, you know, really make him that franchise cornerstone that I think he can be. I think a lot of Jets fans think that he can be that franchise cornerstone piece as well. And, yeah, I think McCarthy would be the perfect fit, especially with this defense being what it is. We could see a very immediate turnaround for this New York Jets. Maybe not playoffs right away, but I could see this team winning maybe 7-8 games, especially if they make the right moves in this upcoming offseason, in free agency, and in the draft. But Jets fans, I want to know, sign off down in the comment section below. What do you think about this Todd Bowles pretty much going to be fired after week 17 on Black Monday? Are you excited? Are you sad? Do you want Mike McCarthy? Let me know what head coach you would want for the New York Jets. I'm very interested. If it was me, if I was a New York Jets fan, I would probably want Mike McCarthy to pair up with Sam Darnold. I think that's a match pretty much made in heaven. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. Bucs fans, don't worry, I'm still going to be making Buccaneers content, but, you know, especially with Black Monday coming up and all the off-season news coming up as well, I'm going to be branching a little bit more out to more NFL teams, especially the ones who fire their head coaches and ones that start making these big off-season moves. But I'm still going to be making general 90, it's pretty much going to be like 80% Buccaneers content, so don't worry, guys. I'm still going to have you covered for all the Bucs news. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, goodbye for now, guys. And I'm still going to say it. Go Bucs!